Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Crypto Market back for another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Celestia and the TIA token and give you guys a price prediction. So Celestia is currently sitting at $11.03 with an increase of around about 30%, 27.76% in the last day or so. Quickly, if you do not know what Celestia actually is, it is the first modular blockchain network that enables anyone to easily deploy their own blockchain with minimal overhead. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means it's a project for mainly for developers that are aiming to launch their new blockchains of their own. So it's sort of like an entity to create something, really. It describes itself as a revolutionary blockchain platform that aims to provide a secure and scalable foundation for DeFi and smart contract platforms. But I'm sure you guys can do a lot of research about exactly what it does in more depth. I mainly want to talk about price action and tell you guys what you want to hear, which is always about the money. So it's currently sitting at $11.05. It's fluctuating as we speak, but around the $11 mark. Now, some things I want to note is its market cap. So Celestia is currently sitting at $1.6 billion, and it's currently ranked 42 in terms of leaders in the charts. So it's not really a small crypto anymore. You know, $1.6 billion is a hell of a lot of money, man. Especially when comparing it to other projects that already have foundations. Celestia is quite new, and it only launched its mainnet on the 31st of October. So they recently launched their mainnet and has set aside 60 million tokens for an airdrop that recently was completed. So you could have participated in this airdrop and, you know, got just free Celestia tokens if you met some criteria, which is staking a certain amount of Cosmos. But yeah, I just want to talk about price and some things that are actually concerning me about this token. Now, obviously, it's up 30% in the last day, and 80% in the last week, and people are going pretty crazy. But there are some concerns that I have just about tokenomics for a long-term point of view. Now, some things I want to note is it had an initial funding round and raised $55 million from supporters such as Binance Labs and Polychain Capital. So that is a lot of money. As we can see here, the first seed ended in March of 2021, which is over 2 years ago now. And the price was 1 cent, and they sold 159 million tokens, raising $1.6 million, and then another round raising another 15, and then another round raising 40. Now, the thing I want to note is the amount of tokens they're selling here. So all up here, they've sold around about 350 million tokens, and if we have a look at current circulating supply, we can see it only has 150 million tokens currently supplied, and that is not entirely made up of coins that they've sold on the initial funding rounds. This was also through the airdrop, and I'll just give you guys the split that I saw down here. So this is the tokenomics. So 20% is public allocation. So this was the airdrop and quote unquote future incentives, and then they've got 27% for the ecosystem. And then this is the part that really concerns me, guys. So all these three sectors here are all to do with the initial seeding round and people who supported them initially. So these are tokens that they sold initially that over time are going to be unlocked, meaning that these investors who bought at these super low prices can eventually sell them. And that makes up nearly 60%, around about 55% of its entire tokenomics. And that is a real concern. If you have a look just at the unlock of these tokens, so by year 3 even, all of these initial contributors, so 60% of the tokens are going to be unlocked. And that's going to be a real problem in a couple years' time for an average investor, because it means supply is going to hit an extra 350 million tokens at least. So putting an extra, if you just injected 350 million tokens right now, you would have around about 500 million tokens. And if you kept the same market cap, so the same amount of money was actually just quote unquote locked in the project, you would have a price of around about $3. And you're seeing the price at $11 now, and I know you guys are wanting to hop in straight away because you've seen these gains. That is a concern long term. However, that doesn't mean you can't make money in the short term, because these unlocks are going to take time, obviously years, in fact. And where do I see this going? Well, why has it pumped recently? I think it's because just the fact that the volume started to peak up again. If we have a look at the year chart, we can see that back in November, so it only launched at the start of November, really, it started trading. It saw nearly $1 billion in volume in early November, and now we're seeing volume just start to spike again. So we saw at the start of December it was around about 300 million. Now it's spiking all the way up to 500 million. So it's gonna continue rising in volume, and that means price is really just gonna keep going, to be honest, because people don't really care. It's a new project. In fact it's on Binance already, so there's going to be a lot of volume just from the factor on the supply it's on, the exchange that it's on. It means people are going to be easily able to see it. When it's a top gainer, more and more people are going to go, hey, what is this token, and try and hop in on it. Now, I'm not a doubter. I'm just a realist with these tokenomics. I think long term, once these tokens are released, I don't see this being a crypto that really pushes unless it forms the right partnerships. And right now, it doesn't really have that. To be honest, like, its use case is pretty minimal. And I'm saying that not being a developer, so if someone could really fill me in, that would be great. But I would say this token is gonna just keep going in the next couple of days. It's gonna fluctuate a little bit, but I think in the long-term trend over the days, we're gonna see it hit $15 pretty soon, just because you have to respect the momentum that different projects have. And right now, this one has a lot of momentum, a lot of people talking good things about it, even having a look right here. A lot of people just saying constant bullish. Now, that means that momentum is really strong. So if you hop in now, I would say a reasonable price target is hitting that $2 billion market cap, or an increase of about 15 to 20%. So that would put the price at around about that $15-16 mark, and I think that's very reasonable in the next coming days. It's going to have a few drawbacks just to consolidate as people dump, but I think long term you guys have to really look out for the tokenomics of this project. Now, it might change as more investors come in, but the unlock in the next 3 years is going to mean supply is going to increase a lot, and simple laws of supply and demand are going to indicate that price is going to go down by then, unless market cap just explodes and then price is sort of irrelevant to now. But I think I would stay away from sort of long-term investing. If you want to make a quick flip on this, then I'm sure go ahead. I think $15 is very reasonable, but it's certainly gonna dump soon. Just seeing 30% gains in one day for a crypto of $1.6 billion in market cap is gonna account for people taking profits, and eventually it's gonna have some kind of drawback. But I think in the short to long term, so the next couple of weeks, is gonna pump definitely.